The Girls Club, 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 The Girls Club. It's my club and I'm a girl, yeah.
Hello, and welcome back to the Girls Club. I'm your president, Emily, and we need to talk about the elephant that was in the room the last club meeting. I had something in my teeth the entire club meeting. For me, as somebody who is a freak about dental hygiene and genuinely like anything to do with my teeth, because it is the one feature that I have that is complimented on the regular. Like, and that's not me being like, oh, I wish I was complimented more. That's just like a fact. Like every TikTok that I post that like blows up, always people are talking about my teeth on it. Like, oh my God, you have such good teeth, blah, blah, blah. What's your secret? Whatever. So I take a lot of pride in those things, in these bad boys. And the fact that there was like a piece of black shit in my teeth, like the entire club meeting, was probably bad for y'all. But for me to edit that, right, for like hours and to stare at that piece of black whatever and just like every frame I was like, maybe it'll go away in this one. And there was numerous times where I took drinks of water. I was drinking water and water and water and water, being like, man, like I really hope that'll do it. And it never did. And the whole entire show, it was in there. That's why I didn't post a ton of clips on TikTok, because I was ashamed, I was embarrassed. And to be honest, like I don't even know how that happened, because I don't remember eating anything before. And also like when I was getting ready, like I looked at my teeth numerous times, so like I don't even know what the fuck that even was for real. Like I don't know. So apologies for that, because that grossed me the fuck out. So I can only imagine, like, oh my God, I'll never forget. I was editing another podcast for my job, and the host had like a piece of something in his teeth like the whole time. And I went frame by frame and I removed that from his teeth, because I was like, that is embarrassing. But I did not do that for myself, because I was like, I'm genuinely like actually don't even care that much. Like I care a lot, but I was like, I don't care enough to waste like hours and hours doing that, because that shit takes for fucking ever. So yeah, apologies about that. Let's pretend that never happened. Let's pretend we didn't see anything in my teeth. Let's pretend that you only listened to the audio version. Perfect. Okay, but how is everybody? How's everybody doing today? You know, it's a hot one here in Nashville. The weather in Nashville has become so like, I would say like tropical adjacent. And what I mean by that is like we have the most strange weather for being like a landlocked state. Like every single day we have like a burst of thunderstorms, like the fucking rainforest, like fucking we're in some tropical ass climate. And so I love when people like deny that global warming is a thing, or that like climate change isn't real. And I'm like, then what is this? Truly, like what the fuck literally even is this? Because what do you, if not global warming, then why global warming shaped, you know? I love that little, if not this, then why is it shaped like that? I love that little thing, that little saying. Speaking of internet, the Gen Z stare. Everybody's talking about it. And let's Rhett Link style, let's talk about it. Let's talk about that. Because I know I made that joke the last club meeting. I'm now remembering making that joke, and I'm remembering editing a picture of Rhett Link into the video. So like, yikes, talk about beating horses that are dead. I'll be whipping that thing. I'll be hitting that thing. I'll be beating that thing. A dead horse. That's what I mean. The Gen Z stare. A lot of millennials, Gen Xers have come to TikTok. We come to TikTok. Nicole Kidman. Have come to TikTok basically complaining about the Gen Z stare, being like, Gen Z has no customer service. Gen Z doesn't even like realize that they're doing it. Like they're so like void of social skills and interaction and whatever. And like, I'm not going to say that is 100% false, but I think the context a lot of these like older people are not realizing, and like I am like a cusper, right? Like I'm 97, so I'm like a Zillennial, a true Zillennial. Okay, I'm the oldest you can be in Gen Z, and I just missed the mark on the millennial thing. So I get both sides because I think that, you know, there is a new version of like customer service with these younger generations working these like customer service jobs, like if you're like a hostess or like in food service, or if you work in retail, like whatever. So there is like a new type of customer interaction, I feel like. But you have to keep a few things in mind. Number one, the dollar is worth so little now. And these people are making pennies on the dollar, which discontinued the penny. So they're making basically like very, very, very low money in comparison to like the time that they're devoting, right? Like if we do like a cost benefit analysis and we look at the cost of time, these jobs are like not quite worth people's time. I'm kind of going back to this whole like minimum wage talk or like conversation that we had a couple club meetings back when we were talking about like the federal minimum wage being $7.25 an hour is like laughable. You know what I mean? With inflation and like cost of living and everything, like it's actually comical that that has not been increased. But also same for like these lower entry level jobs, like because federal minimum wage hasn't been increased, and because companies are not increasing salaries with, you know, inflation and cost of living. Yes, customer service is part of that job. I hear what everybody's saying, but at the same time, like it's not, the value of this person's time is way less than it was in the past. Like when Gen X and millennials were having these like customer service, customer facing jobs, like they were able to like make, not saying good money, but they were able to make enough money, or maybe like just enough to like get by or whatever. But like these jobs are not paying enough for even that anymore. So it's hard to get people to want to like give a fuck about like anything when there's no reward for that. So number one, just the whole like, you're not paying people enough to really care. So like, I don't know, if you want somebody to like be like, oh, howdy, how are you? Like, may I take your hat, sir? May I take your hat, sir? And not to be like, no, this is Patrick. Like, you got to pay them more, babes. Number one. Number two, younger Gen Z especially had like very, very influential years of their life completely disrupted because of the pandemic. So these like essential years for like socialization in like a public setting, like outside of just like, I mean, even school included, like they got that taken away from them. So like, I mean, it's like, if you really think about the time that was, like, that's like 4 years of strange and unprecedented, everybody loves that word, times of social interaction that these kids went through. So they're not getting these like social cues and, you know, eye contact and like yes ands and whatever that everybody else like gets exposed to at a young age to like understand that that is the norm. Like their life was on the internet. Their life was watching stuff and not having to react to it like physically or verbally or anything. It's just like consuming and not like reciprocating any of that, you know? I mean, think of school, like online school was a fucking joke for me even. Like, and I was in my senior year of college and a good chunk of my master's program was online, and like that shit was like, it wasn't interactive. It was not like you couldn't do group assignments. Like it was just like, it was hard. It was very hard and lonely, and you get used to like being by yourself and being in your own head or being on the internet and whatever. So that's another thing that like I don't think millennials and Gen X are giving Gen Z like grace for, is the fact that like not me specifically, because like I had my whole high school experience and almost all of my college experience pre-pandemic, but a lot of these kids did not. So like you cannot fault them for being like quote awkward when like very crucial years of their social development were quite literally like flipped on its head. And also the way a lot of fucking people act in real life is insane. And we put up with a lot of fucking shit to just be polite or whatever. And I think a lot of like younger Gen Z specifically are just like fed up. You know what I mean? Like they're just kind of like, no, I don't have to like give you any sort of reaction for being insane, for being crazy, you know? So I understand like the Gen Z stare is definitely a thing. I'm not saying it's not. But it's also like I don't think people are really giving young Gen Z enough like empathy and grace for the current state of the world, and also for the like lack of social interaction that they had in their like teenage years, you know? Like I think about my nieces specifically, and like not that there's anything wrong with them at all, but like my first niece was born in like 2019, I think, or 2018. It was like right before the pandemic. So like her first few years of life were quite literally just with immediate family and like no other kids. There was no like outside of the house time, you know? It was like at the house or in the backyard, but there was no like, I mean, you could go to parks, but you couldn't play with other kids. Like it was very weird. And so, I mean, she didn't even start talking until like she was probably close to 3 years old, like fully like forming sentences and stuff, probably because she just didn't feel the need to, because there was no like social, like pressure is the wrong word, but like incentive to do so outside of like call and response to your mom and dad and to like your grandma and grandpa, which like, you know, adults are so different. Cause like I feel like with kids there's this like natural competition almost between them, so they like push each other to, you know, checking off the boxes of like social interactions. Like I'm thinking specifically for like me and my little brother, we're only 2 years apart, so there were things that he did a lot quicker than like other kids who didn't have like a sibling that was slightly older, because I was already doing those things. So it was like, I don't know. So like when my other niece was born, they're like 3 years apart, or 2.5, 3 years apart. Like she picked up on stuff way faster because she had her older sister to kind of like coach her up on that and to have somebody to like aspire to be like. But I don't know. I think people are just like a lot of times I feel like people just forget that the pandemic like literally happened, you know? And like the way that the state of the world is right now, like the starting point of like true adult success is happening later and later and later, because we are in this like final boss of late stage capitalism. We are in this like weird conservative era of like rights being rolled in reverse, and we're in this strange like time where the American dollar is worth way less than it ever was, and there is no affordable housing. And not saying that it isn't always like this, but it's even amplified to the nth degree today. So like this path to like success and loving your job and being like, oh yes, can I help you? Like it's not really real anymore. So it's kind of hard to expect people to like really give a fuck about their job when it's that type of job, when like they're not getting compensated properly, and also like they haven't had the same experience in life that you have had, because quite literally, we went through something that like really hasn't happened since like the bubonic plague type shit. And not enough people are really sinking in and sitting with that. Remember that movie Contagion? That's basically what the fuck happened to us, and we act like it was the common cold. Also, there is so many things that have fucked us up, I believe personally, and I'm not a medical professional, so like take everything that I say with a grain of salt, but because of COVID. Like I know so many women who have been struggling with like hair loss and stuff, and who like and other things like weird skin problems. Like I've developed strange allergies, food allergies at 27 years old out of absolutely nowhere, because I think we all don't really like the virus is so young, you know, like when people develop vaccines and stuff for viruses, it's like because it's something that has existed for a really long time, so they've had a long time to develop it. But with like COVID, it was so young and so aggressive that like, I mean, they were just probably trying to get anything to save people's lives, and we were all getting it because we were like, yeah, I don't want to fucking die from this thing. But like it probably wasn't properly tested as much as it could have been if it wasn't such an aggressive like mutating virus. So I don't know, I think, not saying that the vaccine caused a lot of stuff, but I think the virus itself probably has caused a lot of long-term issues with people, and like possibly the vaccine too, or one of the iterations of it. Because yeah, there's so many things that like I am dealing with now that like pre having COVID, like I never had issues with before. So just interesting. I did not mean to talk about COVID for 20 minutes, but yeah, I've just been seeing so much about the Gen Z stare, and I'm like, could you guys just like fucking like, Kim, there are people dying. Like that's kind of how I feel about this. I'm like, who the fuck cares? Like, oh my God, then don't go to fucking Starbucks, you know? Then don't go to fucking whatever, wherever you're going and dealing with this like type of customer service. Like if you're that upset about it, like just don't go there. But sorry, the only people who are working these jobs are probably younger people, because it's not a job that anybody who has any sort of family or any sort of like people that depend on them can probably afford to do, because they need to work somewhere that pays them more money, point blank period. So start paying people more money, they'll care a little bit more about their job and maybe not be so awkward. Okay, so over the weekend, I was looking at my phone, things you shouldn't do. Over the weekend I went to St. Louis, like the most random place ever for me to go. Not that St. Louis itself is random, but like I have no connection with St. Louis at all. But I went there because me and my cousins, my two other girl cousins, who my mom has two sisters, and those two sisters are twins of each other. My mom's the oldest, and they each have one daughter. And my cousins and me are all within like 8 months apart of each other. So we're all super close in age. We were really, really close when we were little. And so recently we've been like, we need to like, you know, get together more often, because I see my immediate family like pretty frequently, like my parents, my siblings, and my nieces, but like my like cousins and aunts and uncles and stuff, like I see like once a year. Like literally I never see them. So me and my two girl cousins were like, we need to go do something, because like we were always really tight when we were younger, and now that we're older, it's like it's hard, and you know, everybody's living their own lives, doing their own thing, but we're like, we need to start making like an effort to like hang out and, you know, see each other more often. So we picked a city that was the exact same basically drive for all of us to get to, and St. Louis ended up being that city. My older cousin, which is so silly because she's like a few months older than me, booked a Airbnb, and then we all met up there. And the first night we just did like we like went and picked up dinner, and then we like just talked for, oh my God, so long. Like it's so nice. Like family is like, it's one of those things that like you don't have to see each other often to like kiki about shit, because at the end of the day, you have so much like lore to like talk about, from like childhood to, I mean, since your parents, like since one of your parent is like siblings with each other, it's like you guys have that in common. You can kind of like spill the tea about stuff. You can talk about other family members. Like, I don't know. It's just like, it's so nice. And as somebody who like, I don't have like a big family, like I have my two brothers and then my two nieces, but that's really it. And then of course my brother's like wife, my sister-in-law, but like that is just it really. And then my like cousins and stuff, like I don't have that many cousins. It's like my two girl cousins who are close to my age, and then I have two other cousins, and that's it on the side of the family that I hang out with, my mom's side of the family. My dad's side of the family, my cousins are way older than me. They're like in their 40s. So like we don't have anything in common. Like I don't ever see them. And then my dad only has one sibling. So like, yeah, we don't really see them ever. But I feel like that's how it normally goes. It's like mom's side or dad's side. I feel like most people hang out with mom's side probably because I feel like women are better at keeping, you know, relationships held together and whatnot. But I'm like, oh, fuck, that means I'm dad's side of the family for both of my brothers. I'm like, shit. Because I'm like, I'm probably not going to have kids. So I'm like, I need them to like dad's side of the family, because like that's where Aunt Emmy is. Like, I need y'all to like dad's side of the family because like I need to see my nieces and stuff. And so I'm like, I gotta always be the cool aunt, because if I stop being the cool aunt, then like it's over for me and I'm not gonna have any family. But anyway, so my cousins, we got there, we just like stayed in at night, we just like caught up on everything, talk shit about anybody and everybody we could fucking possibly think of. And that, oh god, y'all, that is girlhood right there. Like, gossiping and talking shit is like in our fucking blood. And it's not out of like hate. It's like out of like community. Like, talking shit builds community. And if you don't agree with me, like, you're fucking wrong. Like, even think of like the worst people in the world, like low key talking shit is what brought them together. And that's not good. That's not what I'm saying. Like, that's really bad. Like, but they're talking shit on their like, and it's not justifiable. Like, the shit that they're talking is like actually just like hateful and bad. Like, the shit we're talking is like justifiable because we're talking about like horrendous people, or like people that are like just gross or whatever. It's like this. Like, all I do on here is talk fucking shit. I come on this bitch and I'm just saying, like, I don't like this person. I don't fuck with this person. I think this person is stupid. I don't like this thing. And it's like low-key building a community, one fucking shit talk at a time. So yeah, gossip and like shit talking is, I feel like, so healthy and good for relationships between women and honestly just people in general. I feel like that's like another reason like men don't have, and this is a blanketed statement, so I'm not saying all men, okay? I'm just like fucking, I mean, lip. But I'm saying a lot of what the fuck? A lot of cis heterosexual men who are friends with other cis heterosexual men, like, their friendships are very like they last a long time. You know, I mean, my brother's been friends with the same host since fucking 6th grade or whatever the fuck. But are they tight? Are they close? Do they really know shit about each other? Absolutely the fuck not. And I think a big part of that is like, they don't talk shit. They don't talk shit. Like, they don't even talk. We don't talk anymore like we used to. Oh, why'd that kind of sound good? But no, they don't talk about really anything, and so you know they're not really talking shit unless it's very surface level, like, oh yeah, that girl's a bitch, or oh yeah, that guy sucks. But they're not getting into the lore. They're not getting into the deep roots of like, why do I feel this way? Me and my cousins, oh my god, we were unlocking trauma. We were dropping lore on each other. My one cousin was telling me about her parents' divorce and like the tea behind that I did not know about, and then my other cousin was telling me about like some tea between her and like one of her like really good friends that like I remember her always hanging out with growing up, and then like they had a falling out, and like I never really knew why, and then like she dropped the lore and I was like, oh damn, Like, it's so nice talking shit. Oh my God. It's just like something about it just is so refreshing and like, oh, it's like a weight off your shoulders. I'm like, ah. And then I can be like happy-go-lucky, awesome person because I've let this shit out. And that is why men need therapy. And men need to vent to people who are not their spouses and who are not their partners. And like they just need to kiki it with each other for real. Like imagine if men just like would talk about things that were pissing them off or people who were pissing them off. We probably would not have war. You know, we probably would not have murder or like assault really. Like because people would just get it off their chest and move the fuck on, you know? That's why it's so healthy to have like good venting. And that's like when people are like, oh yeah, I don't ever talk bad about people. I'm like, either you're lying or you're psychotic. Because what do you mean? You like everybody? No, that can't be true. That can't be true. There's a lot of fucking horrendous people in this world. So you can't like everybody. And if you do, I feel like you're not really human. Like you might be AI. You might fail a CAPTCHA. I fear you might not be able to identify all the bikes in the photos. I fear you might not be able to point to every single bus in the photos. So yes, the first night we're kikiing, we're talking shit, we're whatever. The next day, also we're only staying 2 nights. Tell me why I packed 6 outfits. I went to Kroger beforehand. I bought 4 different bags of chips. I bought like all these candies, all this fucking shit, acting like we were gonna be in that bitch for like a whole week. Babe, we were there 2 nights, and the first night, like, I didn't even get there till 5 p.m. I don't know. I'm so like I'm very much a mom when traveling. Like I packed like full size versions of everything, like my shampoo, conditioner, face wash, like everything. Cause I was like, but what if they don't have it there? And then what if like my cousins also need to use it? I'm like, okay, it's okay. It's not that serious. Truly. It really isn't. And yes, I'm very much an overpacker. So that was crazy and stupid, but you know, you live and you learn. But the next day we and what's so nice, oh my God, what's so nice about going on trips with like people who are so similar to you is like, it was just like chill vibes. It was like we woke up, it was like, okay, let's go grab a coffee and then figure out what we want to do for the day. And we were all just like, you know what, like it's St. Louis. Like we're not in fucking California. We're not in anywhere where I'm like, I gotta sightsee. I saw the arch on my way in. I'm like, I'm good. And so we just like went thrift shopping. Like we literally, Malcolm Moore, can we go thrift shopping? Like we just went to thrift shops all fucking day. It was amazing. We went to all these like record stores, like resale record stores, and I got a fuck ton of new CDs. And they joined my collection, which is getting a bit out of hand. And I need to figure out like a aesthetic way to store the stuff, but it's because it's kind of looking crazy right now. But that's a bridge I'll cross once I get to it, I guess. But yeah, we did that, and so it was so nice. It was very chill, very demure. And then that night, like me and my cousins are singers. Like y'all know how much I sing on this show. I'm not saying like we're like good singers, okay, but we can carry a tune ish. You know, we were all in choir at some point. Were we singing the solos? No, but you know, I can do a backup vocal for a bitch. And so we were like, every time we'd get in the car, we'd play a song. All of us know all the words to every song ever because that's just like how our brains work. We're very much like all 3 of our parents were all singers. Like that's just how it was. Like, I don't know, very, very music like oriented upbringings for all of us. So we're just music people. Yeah, I'm just a music girl. And my older cousin, who's I think closer in age than my younger one, but we're literally all the same age. Like it's crazy that I'm like my older one, but it's like we're months apart, y'all. But her and I are like, we love the Y2K pop boy bands and pop divas of that era. So I don't know, we were just like all singing in the car, and then I don't know who brought it up, but somebody was like, karaoke, and I was like, oh my God, of course, yes, we need to do karaoke. And one of my cousins had a friend who lived in St. Louis, so she texted her, was like, hey, where do you go to karaoke? And she like told us the spot, and we call them, and we just booked an hour, which hindsight, never book only an hour for karaoke. Like at least 2, at the very least book 2 hours, because the way we were like speed running these songs, because oh my God, time flies when you're having fun, as they say. And so we're like, we pull up at this place, and it is it's like a Korean barbecue spot in the front, and in the back, like the back rooms, there's like a strip of individual rooms that are like karaoke. So it's very legit. It is very like OG karaoke. We are the only non-Korean people in this joint. Like we're the only white people in this whole place. And so immediately I was like, I am in a space that I am not wanted in. And not in like a negative way, but I felt bad being there. I was like, oh no, I promise we're not like locals. We didn't tell anybody. We didn't go on TikTok and we're like, hey, you guys have got to check out this karaoke place. Because I hate, like, especially in Nashville, like having a spot where I'm like, yes, this is a local spot. And then a bitch posts on TikTok and she's like, guys, I just tried the best mom and pop whatever. And then it's just ruined for forever. It's ruined because everybody and their goddamn mom comes in. It's always the most insufferable people. It's the same people who, like, that La La Land coffee shop in Nashville opened. Y'all, the line for that thing is in fucking insane. It was like people were waiting like hours for coffee. By the way, in Nashville, you can't drive more than 100 yards without running your car through a coffee shop. Like every single corner. I swear to God, churches and coffee per capita in Nashville has got to be higher than any other, quote, city in the world. Yeah, it has to be. Like the amount of churches that are in this fucking city plus coffee shops is actually crazy. It's insane. And the fact that all these hoes are waiting outside of La La Land is like I know the word sheep gets thrown around a lot these days, but I'm like, y'all are sheep. Like, I love a good trend. Like, I'm not a girl who's like anti-basic hobby. Like, I love a trend, especially like arts and craft trends and shit, or like new hairstyles or new ways to do your makeup. Like, I am very much pro groupthink on that. But pro like consumption of something, I'm always like, I don't like it. I think that's why I didn't fuck with Labubu's. I don't fuck with like, oh, this viral thing. I have to go like experience it for myself, because also maybe it's because I work in marketing. I know how that shit works. A lot of the hype is fucking fake at first to send people to go be interested in it and then create hype on the back end. And the La La Land coffee thing is like so incredibly insane, actually, because like I'm like, I promise I'm not being dramatic. People were waiting like over 2 hours for coffee. Why? I don't like, by the time you've waited that long, do you even want it anymore? Also, it's hot as balls in Nashville right now. It's like 100, like it's like 96 feels like 110, humidity at like 90%. It is horrendously hot here. People waiting for that. I don't get it. I fucking don't understand. So anyways, all that to say, we go to this like super local spot in some shopping mall, like strip mall thing in St. Louis to do karaoke. We go in there, like all of the instructions are written in Korean, and then there's like this English translator piece of paper next to it. When you turn a song on, all the lights cut off and there's like rainbow like strobe lights that start playing. Like, oh my God, it was so much fun. And me and my cousin just went there and we sang. And I was just like, oh my God, I love karaoke so much. It's such a fun thing to do when you're not like a singer, when you just enjoy singing because it's fun, and when you don't really give a fuck about being like the best person in the room. Like, nothing is more unfun than going to karaoke with somebody who tries really hard. And that was not me and my cousins. Like, we were like 3-part harmonying each other at the best of our possible ability, but without trying hard. Like, we were slipping in and out of like in and out of the correct note. It was sounding not awesome, but it was so fucking fun. I at the end of it, like we had like some videos from it, and I was like, we sound like that girl group that like Fergie was in.
Now let's kick off the weekend with a song. You ready, girl? Welcome, welcome, hey yeah.
What is it? Wild Orchid or something like that. I was like, that's what we sound like just not great. But we're still like, we're there on the notes, but were they sang well? No, indeed they were not. But we had fun and it was so awesome. And the most like sobering moment, like of course I was sober the whole time, but the moment that took me out of it immediately was after it's over. I am sweating. I am like kind of in a daze from like just singing like whatever. I think the last song we sang was "Girl, Put Your Records On." Put your records on. Your favorite song. Your favorite song. I don't know really hardly any of the words to besides that part. So we're walking out of there. I'm sweating. I'm like, oh, what year is it? And we go to pay, and the like sterile like lighting that's in the main area, and all these people just staring at us. And also like I know we smell bad because like we were just like, I was jumping around in that bitch like I was 6 years old, like literally at a trampoline park. I was like sweaty, the house down boots, like yuck. So I feel like we smelled like we were outside. Like, you know, when a kid comes in from outside or like comes back from PE and they smell like just like sweat, and not like body odor, but they just smell like they've been sweating. I know that's how we smelled. And so walking out of that into like a whole room of like people, and also knowing, because like the area that they were eating in was not very loud, and so it's like I know y'all heard us like scream singing Backstreet Boys like 1 minute ago. That's got to be a hard listen. And so yeah, we paid and we got out of there and it was great. But that would be my advice to you if you're looking for some life advice and you're like, God, I just want to feel something. Go do karaoke. Go find a little karaoke joint in your town. I bet they have it, like a little Korean barbecue X karaoke. And because we only booked for like a short amount of time, like we didn't like have time to like order food or whatever. But at this place you could also like order appetizers and drinks and like have them. Like, oh my God, it was so much fun. And what was so nice about it was like a private room. So even if you're like more shy and like, I don't know, because sometimes karaoke is like intimidating, especially if it's at a place where it's just the whole place is a karaoke spot. And so you walk in and you just take your turn and everybody in the whole bitch can hear you. Like I sang Whoop, There It Is at one of those ones. And like, I know all of those words. Like, you don't even have to play the song. I know all of the words to that song. And I couldn't do it. Like I just started fumbling all of the words. I had to start reading off the thing, and then I couldn't read as fast as it was going, and it was so embarrassing. And I was like, no, I promise I know this song. I know it. And oh, it was embarrassing. So yeah, that was like a good place where you could truly just like be your complete self. It was so much fun. So yeah, that's my advice to you. Go do karaoke. Oh my God, I forgot. The last thing I'm going to do or tell y'all before we get into the listener write-in portion. Woo! I mean club member. Fuck. Is so speaking of tea, so one of my cousins lives in Kansas City, Missouri. And do y'all know that like comedian Caleb Heron? He's like very much in the like Brittany Broski, Drew Offwallow like circle on the internet. And I think he does stand up, but he's also like, I think been on a couple of like TV shows maybe. But yeah, he has his own podcast, I think, and he's always on like Brittany or Drew's stuff. Like that's where I always see him. But anyway, so my cousin lives in Kansas City, right? And we were talking about like, you know, people that you've met who are like quote famous, who are like different than they are perceived on the internet, or like different than the person that they put out on the internet, which is my greatest fear. That is my greatest fear. That's why I like, if I ever see a famous person in real life, I am not approaching them. I'm not, because I cannot have my dreams crushed, because I already get let down every single fucking day on the internet when I learn that somebody's like actually a piece of shit. Like this week I saw that Brian Luttrell from the fucking Backstreet Boys is like low key like a MAGA or whatever, which I don't know why that was surprising to me, because I know he's like a Christian from like Kentucky or some shit. So I'm like, of course. He's like a Gulf of America person. I'm like, no. Also, how are you a Backstreet Boy? A literal like, I mean, come on. And you're like not woke. Like, I don't get it. And then all the shit with Nick Carter, I don't care about them as human beings. The only Backstreet Boy that I really, really fuck with is AJ McLean. And he was on Trisha Paytas' podcast. Like, I know he is like he wore drag at his fucking wedding to his wife. Like, he's straight. He is that confident in his sexuality that like as a straight man, that like he embraces like feminine stuff because he just genuinely likes it. He's also like he's like the creative director for this like not blind box. I don't think they're blind boxes, or they might be, but like figurines series called like Rocky Moto, and it's like a Japanese inspired like figurine thing, because I think like his friend or something was like the creator of like Funko Pops or something, which yuck to Funko Pops. But so I know he's like nerdy, he goes to Comic-Cons and stuff, and like he's very like nice to people. Like, I know when people go up to him, he like loves talking to people. And like same with Joey Fatone from NSYNC. Like when Joey and AJ did their little tour together, like they were amazing. And they were just like in the crowd interacting with people and like so kind. The rest of those hoes, like, I love their music down. Like, they are my boys, Backstreet and NSYNC. But as people, I don't know. You know, I don't know. I think Lance is cool. I haven't really heard anything bad about Lance. JC, I don't know. Justin, he's always in some shit, you know? Like, he's been problematic since Britney. Since him and Britney. But I still love them down. But yeah, learning this week that Brian Luttrell is like a fucking MAGA, I'm like, ugh. Really? Really? And I guess Kevin, who, this is so irrelevant to this has been my special interest, okay, for the last 3 years. So just let me talk about this and then we'll move on. But apparently Kevin, who's also a Backstreet Boys member, who's the guy who sings in I Want It That Way. Now I can see that we're falling apart from the way that it used to be. Yeah. Like that. So y'all know Kevin, which we have the same birthday, which crazy. So, but he and Brian are cousins. So they're related, talking about cousins. See, oh, it's a full circle. We're talking about cousins. We're back there. We're back. Kevin, this one. And this guy. Cousins, right? And apparently, I guess Kevin has called him out, like, publicly on shit. So I'm like, y'all, not inter-band beef. And inter-family beef. I'm just like, God damn. So I think Kevin's cool. And AJ. But yeah, Nick and Brian, I don't know. Howie, I don't really know shit about Howie. Besides that, after like their manager or whatever, that guy who got arrested for like basically taking all their money and being a fucking creep weirdo, he like low-key still supported him like even after the lawsuit and everything. So I don't know. I also feel like he's just like a victim, and you know, I don't fault him for doing that, but yeah. Anyways, so what was I going to talk about? Oh, Caleb Heron. Jesus Christ. Apparently, little birdie told me, not a nice person. Not a nice person. Apparently he's just very like, does what he needs to do to get where he needs to go. And, you know, I feel like that's most famous people, right? Like the way you become like the top of the tower and the talk of the town is not always going to, like, the route to get there is not always going to be the sweetheart like Belle from Beauty of the Beast approach, and everybody in town loves you and you're that nice and like that's how you propel to success. Like a lot of people just kind of do whatever they have to do to fucking get there. And so I don't really fault people for that, because the industry is really, really hard, especially when you are, you know, not the perfect image of what a like entertainer should look or act or be like or whatever. So I get that, but also, yeah, like my cousin, I guess, was acquaintances with him and like hung out with him multiple times, and he just was like one of those people who, it was like a friend who was like, well, what can you do for me? Like it was like he was always on the receiving end of good, but never really giving anything for that, if that makes sense. Like it was very much like, how can you get me to where I need to go out of this friendship? Like everything was very like transactional, and I get that, especially like being in that industry. I could see how a lot of friendships probably are that way. Like I look at like YouTuber collabs and just collabs in general with like influencers and stuff, and a lot of people are like, oh, they're besties, and I'm like, it's a brand deal in and of itself. It's like cross promotion. So it's sometimes it's genuine, but a lot of the times it's like, hey, you have an audience that's pretty similar to mine, so why don't we like cross promote on each other's platforms so we can expand both of our audiences and expose them to each other and get even more famous. Like that's the point of a lot of it. Which sucks, because it kind of kills the fantasy of like, oh, these people are just friends in real life. And it's like, I'm sure at a certain level they're friendly, but I don't think that a lot of people who do work together in that industry would like qualify each other as like true friends, because it's not selfless friendship, if that makes sense. So yeah, I don't really watch anything that he does. I think he's really funny. Like all the clips I've ever seen of him are like hilarious. And he seems like a really funny comedian, and that's great. But yeah, as a person, I've heard he's kind of like not the most nice person, which, you know, can be expected, and I do expect. And that is why I refuse. Like they just say like never meet your hero, because it's probably not all it's cracked up to be. Like that's why I can never meet Bobby Flay. I know it would kill my fantasy. Yeah, that's probably about it. That's the only person who I'm like, if I met you and you were not how I perceive you and I'm like, I don't think he's probably a good person. Like, I don't know. I don't ever expect men to be like good people. I'm always probably like, yeah, you're probably gonna be worse than how I perceive you on the internet. But anyways, all right. So for the listener write-in portion of today's episode, I asked you, or club meeting, I asked you guys, what is your go-to karaoke song? Because I just come off the high of singing a bunch of karaoke, and I was like, I'm curious. So this is what y'all said. Okay, we have Bad Romance by Lady Gaga and One of Your Girls by Troye Sivan, which Bad Romance makes total sense. I feel like it's a song that's like, it's fun to sing. You can be a little more singy if you want, but you also don't have to be. It can be more of like a talk sing kind of vibe. So it's not a ton of pressure. As a song, it's kind of like Rihanna's, like any Rihanna song is very repetitive. It's very much the same exact key the whole time. It's kind of the same couple of notes like the entire time. There's no big like key change or anything. So those are always safe songs to do at karaoke. One of Your Girls, Troye Sivan, is like a newer song that every time I do karaoke, I always sing like old songs, because I feel like I can't ever think of like current songs. Like I go in there and I'm like, I don't know. But those are good. Dreams, Fleetwood Mac. Yeah, that's a good one. I feel like also it's always good at karaoke to sing songs that you know everybody will at least know, like the chorus. Like as long as everybody knows the chorus, it's a successful karaoke song. Like you don't ever want to sing some niche ass song that nobody's heard of, because then it's just awkward. Like it's genuinely awkward because it's giving like you wanted everybody to not sing while you were singing. But like to me, the fun of karaoke is like everybody is singing and vibing while you're singing. It's not supposed to be like a performance for the person singing. It's like everybody's performing, but the person singing just has the microphone. In my opinion. Ironic by Alanis Morissette, which I definitely know that song. I cannot think of it. Okay, if somebody sang that at karaoke, I would probably start laughing. Just that part. Hey, yeah. Oh, it's like rain. Yeah, I do know that song. Okay, I was like, what the fuck is the song? Definitely know it now and definitely familiar now, and that's a good one. Because again, the chorus, oh, I know it, you know. The Wizard and I from Wicked, or Don't Rain on My Parade from Funny Girl. Yeah, I agree. I think both of those songs are, it's like, most musical theater songs are really good karaoke songs because again, it's like, especially if you're with a group of people that are in that niche, like they're gonna land every single time. And Don't Rain on My Parade, I feel like, is a universally known song because of like Glee. So like people all know that song. People, me being like, everybody knows the song because of Glee, right? We all watched Glee, right? All the gay theater kids in the chat are like, we did, we watched it. I love Glee. And I love y'all. And I watched Glee. I did not watch all of Glee. I watched like episodes here and there, but my cousin, one of my cousins who I was with this weekend, she's a Glee stan. Like her dad gave this speech at her wedding. The majority of it was like talking about her love for Glee. And that's just how Glee stans are. Like they really are ride or die for that show. Yeah. Good songs. Never karaoke'd. We got to change that. We have to change that. Oh my God. I feel like if we ever do like an in-person thing, we should literally just do karaoke. Bruh. That would be so fucking fun. Are you kidding me? Oh my God. I call Rockstar by Nickelback. We all just want to be a big rock stars. Okay. Never karaoke'd, but I feel like I could perform. You could. You don't even have to feel like, it's like you will. Like you'll eat at it regardless. As long as you like the song you're singing, it's gonna bang. Before He Cheats by Carrie Underwood. That is the karaoke classic, especially if you are with women. Oh my God. Girls eat the fuck up out of that song. And even guys too, like even like the most like wham wham party pooper. Like you like that song at karaoke. It's just a good song for karaoke because it's like you all know the words to it because it was such a popular song at the time. It's like same with any like mainstream pop song is going to bang at karaoke because we all know it from literally just like the radio. Like especially from that era too where it was like like everybody was on streaming platforms, so like top 100s was like very impactful to the music you were listening to because like if it wasn't on the radio, like you were having to like really search for it. But like songs like that were like top 100, it's like Low by Flo Rida. Is that a good song? No. Is it a banger? Yes. Like everybody, or like I'm a Bee, Black Eyed Peas, everybody will fuck with it, you know? Even if you don't fuck with it independently, in the setting of karaoke, it bangs. Like it is good. 505 Arctic Monkeys. Arctic Monkeys is one of those bands that's like, I've heard their live shows are kind of like not bad, but like frustrating because the artist doesn't sing it like it is on the track, like how you hear it. Like they'll do some weird rendition of it, which is so frustrating as like the person who paid for the ticket, I'd be like, can you just sing it the way that we all fucking know? Jesus Christ. So that would be fun with karaoke because at least you can get it that way. Okay. Don't Rain on My Parade. Yeah, another one. See? Exactly. If two people are saying the same song, it's a good karaoke song. I also think I Want It That Way, Backstreet Boys is an amazing karaoke song because everybody knows that song. And same with Everybody by the Backstreet Boys because everybody knows that song. Oh my God, we're back again. Brothers, sisters, everybody sing. Gonna bring the flavor, show you how. Got a question for you, better answer now. Am I original? Yeah. Am I the only one? Yeah. Am I sexual? Okay. Any Dua Lipa? Yeah, okay, Dua Lipa. The only Dua Lipa song I can think of is I Want You, baby. What's a good boo? What's up, baby? Na, 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 na. I want you all night. But also I think I'm a bit too old for the Dua Lipa crowd because by the time Dua Lipa started getting popular, I was like reverting back to what I listened to in childhood. Like I was degressing as a music consumer. I was always that bitch who was like, I was on SoundCloud, like finding hoes that nobody had ever heard of before. I was like, I listen to niche music, but at the same time, I did love my classics or whatever. But yeah, getting older, it's like, I don't care to keep up with the Joneses and what these kids are listening to these days. I just want to listen to my records. I feel like my grandma, every time I'm with my grandma, she's listening to like this sad ass 40s music. And it's like, Jesus Christ, like, what the fuck? But then I'm like, that's literally just going to be me. It's like, I'm like, my nieces are going to visit me when I'm like 90. And it's going to be like, this is a song about a girl named Lucky. They're going to be like, ugh, Aunt Emmy needs to get out more. And they say she's lucky. Dun, dun, dun. Y'all, that was my timer. So I think it's time to say au revoir, whatever that means, because I never took French. Hasta la vista, sayonara if you speak Japanese, and ciao. And I think that's Italian.
Ballerina cappuccina. Oi, oi, oi.
So I love you so much. Please subscribe to my YouTube. Got a banger video coming soon. I will be finishing that probably this weekend. And if I don't hold it against me. 'Cause you feel like paradise. And I want you, I need you tonight. That's a Britney song. Anyways, I love you guys, and I will see you in next week's club meeting. Bye.
The Girls Club, the Girls Club, the Girls Club. The Girls Club, the Girls Club, the Girls Club. It's my club and I'm a girl, yeah.